we're going to be talking about natural, organic, and holistic skincare that is not only good for you as a personal user, it is an absolutely luxe, fabulous product. Please welcome my guest, Irene Forte. Hello, Irene.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's natural but clinically proven, which is still not, very common with a natural line. So we've done hydration trials, anti-wrinkle trials, antioxidant trials, consumer trials, and we're natural but formulated by a doctor called Dr. Francesca Ferri, who has over 35 years of experience. And so she really brings the science to life.
This is the Mentors and Moguls podcast with Heather R. Stone. So privileged to have a wonderful guest on today. We're going to be talking about natural, organic, and holistic skincare that is not only good for you as a personal user, it is an absolutely luxe, fabulous product. Please welcome my guest, Irene Forte. Hello, Irene.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
I'm delighted that you're on today. This is something that I have been hunting for, and a lot of my audience members have been hunting for, is give me something that's rich, that's luxe, that's all natural. And it's really actually tougher to find than I thought. And then I came across your product and I thought, wow, here is a winner. I absolutely love the products and I will be a customer for life. And I'm very curious, you're so beautiful and you obviously have beautiful skin. Has this always been a passion of yours, or did this just develop once you got into the spa world? Take me back to when and where and how this actually started.
So thank you. Well, I was always into kind of sport and healthy eating. I was very good at sports at school. And I guess the kind of beauty product skincare side developed later, but it was a natural route to take, being interested in other aspects of kind of well-being and wellness. And I started looking after the spas for my family's business on the side. I was actually running learning and development and human resources, and the spas became kind of a passion project of mine. And that's when I really was looking to unify the group spas with a product range, because every spa was doing something different, had a different product range. And I really wanted something that was natural, but not naive. And when I started looking and digging, and it was surprisingly hard to find a natural but clinically proven, luxurious skincare range. And so that's when I guess the crazy idea began. And yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's quite something to navigate. Was it daunting? Did you ever feel like, okay, I've now looked down the rabbit hole and this looks like a much bigger task than I was looking for? Or were you up for it? Were you saying, I'm going to go create the latest and the greatest and be that winner on the market in the luxe area?
I think for me, it happened really organically, in the sense that I was like, okay, I'll create something that works for the spas. And it was a side project. It wasn't the only thing I was doing. I think it would have been much more daunting if I was like, okay, I want to be a competitor in this space, in an incredibly oversaturated skincare market. So the fact that it happened kind of step by step, I think, made it easier and less daunting. I guess, yeah, it was only when COVID hit and that all the spas shut down that I really decided to, take it to market outside of the hotels, move into retail, D2C, and start being competitive in this space. So given that it happened step by step and I'd learned quite a lot along the way, I think it was, easier in some ways.
You didn't know the mountain you were about ready to climb, right?
Exactly. And if I had to go back now, I'm not sure I would climb it.
Well, I hear that from a lot of the very successful entrepreneurs that I talk to. It's almost like that's your friend. Naivete is your friend at that point, because it's a daunting task. I would look at it and turn around and walk back down and say, I'll pick something else to do. So I think that's fantastic that you did it, because the end result obviously has gotten quite an overwhelming response. I mean, the number of luxurious spas that you are in is quite impressive. I just discovered that next week I will be somewhere where there's a spa that features your skincare line. So I'm going to go all in and get the treatment. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Awesome. Where are you going next week?
I will be in Edinburgh over in Scotland.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yes.
great.
So I'm excited about going there. Well, let me take you back a little bit. What makes this skincare line unique? What do you think the it factor is with this particular skincare line, because it is such a crowded space?
I think it's a combination of different things. I think, firstly, it's natural but clinically proven, which is still not, very common with a natural line. So we've done hydration trials, anti-wrinkle trials, antioxidant trials, consumer trials. And we're natural but formulated by a doctor called Dr. Francesca Ferri, who has over 35 years of experience. And so she really brings the science to life. I think then the other kind of key point is it's an Italian brand. There are not that many Italian brands on the market. And we have our organic farm in Sicily where we source our ingredients. The products are 100% produced in Italy, and everything from the naming of the products to kind of the watercolors of our organic farm inside and the colors of the packaging are very much Mediterranean inspired. And then I would say third is kind of the experiential element of the brand. So the products are all fragranced, but not with essential oils, unlike most natural brands. So I didn't want to go down the essential oil route because essential oils can be highly allergenic and cause a lot of skin irritation. So I wanted to have something experiential that could work in a spa environment, but without kind of the side effects, and while still being able to be skin kind. And so we have a lab formulated allergen screen fragrance in all of our products that Dr. Ferry formulated. And to prove that that was the right route and that fragrance could be kind on the skin, we then did sensitive skin trials on all the facial products. And so we're a fragrance brand that is certified for sensitive skin, which I haven't found any other brand that has those credentials on the market. And then last but not least is sustainability. I really wanted to build a business that had sustainability ingrained into its DNA. So we take a 360-degree approach to sustainability. So everything from refillable packaging, certified vegan products, to promoting the local Sicilian Italian community, to having a charity partnership with a gynecological awareness charity. So we look at it from all angles, and for that reason we obtained our B Corp certification. And so that's also something that's really important to me, and I will never lose as the brand grows.
That's terrific. Can you explain to us what a B Corp certification is?
Sure. So a B Corp is a brand that meets the highest environmental standards. And to be a certified B Corp, you have to undergo a grueling kind of process, which takes anything from 6 months to a year. So the pass rate is 80. You answer a questionnaire with 300 questions. If you hit 80, you then get allocated an analyst, who effectively gives you asks for a number of more information, accreditations, certificates, and analyzes all various aspects to see that the questions that you answered correctly. And if that all goes well, then you get your B Corp certification. But the median score of brands that actually do the questionnaire is 50, and the pass rate is 80. And we scored 99 first time round. And we managed to get it quite quickly. Well, quite quickly. Still took 6 months, but apparently that's quick in the grand scheme of B Corp applications.
Well, congratulations. You're obviously on the right track and you're onto something. So are you quite pleased with the product and how everything has gone? And how long did it take you to go from the thought that you would find something to actually launching and saying, this is my final packaging, this is my final product, and I'm ready to give birth to this particular baby to the world? How long did that process take for you?
So the formulating itself with Dr. Ferry took me 3 years. And I tried and tested the products with the spa professionals in the hotels over that period. So I had a very tough group of people to please, or that needed to approve the products, which was incredibly helpful. So in terms of the formulas, I was very happy when I launched. And they haven't really changed since, other than, of course, launching new products. And the packaging, however, has changed a lot since launching, and the brand has developed a lot since launching. So the refillable packaging was too difficult for me when I launched because minimum order quantities were too high. Anything bespoke MOQs were too high. So I had to kind of take more off the shelf packaging. And the branding has developed, the logo's developed. But I think the reality and what I learned is that until you actually launch a product, you don't really know what the response is or how it's going to develop. So the advice I often give is just, it's never going to be perfect when you launch. So there's no point stressing about it being perfect when you launch, because you learn so much more when it's on the market than when no one's actually using it, trying it.
Right. They're just ideas in your head. You're just guessing what the feedback will be. Exactly. Understood. So what was it like when you started gathering that feedback? Did you take the feedback as, okay, this is great constructive criticism to make this better? Or was it's such a personal thing to you? Was it hard to hear that feedback and yet pivot again or make the tweaks again? Or is that you just knew that was part of the process?
Well, one of the big issues wasn't so much feedback. It was that the packaging supplier I'd used had forgotten to top coat the lids. Oh, so we had a gray color on the lids. And again, minimum order quantities were too low to inject the color into the lids, which is the best way to do, to have a color on some kind of packaging. And so the paint was chipping off the minute cream touched it. And because the packaging was so late and the launch was so late, I didn't have time to actually test it or play around, because without the cream on it, it looked fine and it looked perfect. So that was kind of one thing so I had to recall all the lids, and it was a bit of a mess. So that was kind of the first. And then in general, in answer to your question, I think to be successful, you have to be open to criticism and not take it personally. And you have to listen. You have to listen to what your customers are saying, and you have to be able to pivot and adapt, because it's never going to be identical to the initial idea that you had for it.
Sure. Well, it must be very gratifying. So when I received the packaging for the first time and looked at it, the visual and the texture of the packaging said everything that you just described that was your intention with the Mediterranean feel. everything, it was very unique. It stood out to be just a few steps above the competition, but and something that you'd want to have, on your makeup table. I can't quite describe it, but I think it's beautiful. And you don't hide it in a drawer. You want it to sit out. It's a beautiful product, a beautiful packaging.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I love the fact that the scent as well, there is a hint of the scent, but it's not overwhelming, and it's not this heavy. And so now I understand when you explain that to me about the essential oils, that it makes completely sense. And I do know a lot of people that used essential oils and have had tough reactions, and you don't know until you put it on there. So that's fantastic. Well, what is on the forefront? Do you think that now that you've been such a success with the skincare line, will you branch into, or have you branched into any kind of other cosmetics for women?
So not so much cosmetics. We're kind of increasing our body care range a bit, which is very interesting for spa. And now we're starting to look at it more for retail as well. The brand's continuing to grow, which is great. Fundraising is always, a challenging part of the journey and very time consuming. So, but you always, unfortunately, need more money, or money to scale, or money to compete on a different level again, because there's so many brands out there with such huge amount of capital to kind of drive the brand, brand forward. So, once you start to want to compete with the big players, you can never have enough money in a way. So that's challenging, but also very interesting, because you meet a lot of people, you learn a lot as well. And I don't have a finance background, so it's something that was probably more challenging for me personally, but something that, I've learned along the way.
You've learned volumes, and I think that's the best way, is by doing it. It's just diving into the deep end and learning. I was doing something with another one of my businesses yesterday, and someone looked at me and said, okay, we're going to do the hard first. Just get the hard out of the way. And it's all the things that it's not your main go-to function that you're comfortable with. And once you master that, then you feel more confident. So it sounds like you've mastered quite a few areas yourself already. Speaking of mastering areas, I learned you just had a baby, yes?
You did just have a baby.
Congratulations. A boy, a girl?
Little girl.
Oh, wonderful. Well, how is motherhood?
Motherhood is amazing. It puts things into perspective, actually.
Does.
But I like having my career as well, I have to say.
It's a tough one.
I think it would be more, I would find motherhood more tough if I didn't have, the distraction of work as well, and other things. But no, I'm just figuring things out. She's only 7 weeks old, so I'm still learning. And I think everyone says to me that each stage of motherhood is just different. It's not harder or easier. It's different.
It's very true. It is very different. And so you're probably in the whirlwind, sleep deprived mode at the moment, and trying to figure out, how do I juggle all of this? It will get easier. It will get different. I guess it will get easier because you'll get into your own rhythm, and there is no blue handbook for that rhythm. Every mother has to figure it out for herself. But it is nice to have grown-up talk and a grown-up outlet as well. I understand that part.
Definitely. Definitely.
Where do you see your skincare line going, or yourself and your business endeavors, your career going in the future? Do you have any aspirations that will go much further beyond this? Not that this is not enough. This is quite enough, growing your brand.
I just love to build a dominant market brand that is understood as, natural, that works, and that really is up there as the best in terms of sustainability and still feels very luxurious, or still is very luxurious. And I really want to build a heritage brand, I think. So I think that's enough in terms of aspirations. Let's see how it goes, and and how the next few years, how it develops over the next few years.
It's quite a bit. Now, we're calling from the States. I know that you're are you in Italy now? This is where we're talking to you.
I'm in the UK, actually.
Oh, you're in the UK. Okay. So is it widely available in the States yet? I know there's a lot of places in Western Europe where it's available. And in the States, various spas?
Well, actually, retail more than spas in the States. So we're with Bergdorf's, with Neiman Marcus and Saks and Nordstrom online. We're across 21 Blue Mercury doors. And then we have a number of smaller, more niche stores.
Perfect. Okay, ladies. So now you know that you can easily access the Irene Forte line. So go online and start shopping. I'm giving it A+ endorsement. I've had some friends use it, and they're all oohing and aahing over it. And they all gave me the crinkle face when I said I had something that was natural and holistic to try. And they said, another one. And then they tried this and they said, please more. Thank you very much. We love it.
Oh.
It's a great, great line. Okay, more children on the forefront for you, or you think one at a time? Just let me just work with the one, or do you want a big family?
I think one at a time. I think let's see how it goes.
I love it. Well, hospitality. Now that's not an easy business to be in. I know a little something about that. How did all of the spas and all of the hotels do with you during the COVID that we went through? Obviously, you all survived, but was everything completely locked down? Because Italy in some parts was really, you guys were really clamped down for quite a while. Were you just shut down like a ghost town?
I mean, everything was really shut down like a ghost town. It was challenging.
I bet.
My father, who's 78 now, and he, it's his business. It's been going for 26 years now. And it was really sad to see him so devastated, because he worked so long at this business that looked like it was touch and go, but in the end, business is now booming. So
love it.
And, he's had it's been their best year ever. And in the end,
it all works out.
It all works out. So he's lucky, or we're lucky in that respect, that it all worked out in the end. And the business is continuing to grow, and they're developing new hotels, particularly across Italy. So, yeah.
All's well that ends well. That's terrific. Onward and upward. So I ask a lot of my guests these questions. And now that you've kind of been through quite the trials and tribulations, you've really done something groundbreaking. You've started from scratch and built something from an idea and taken it to market, and it's flourishing. So I am so impressed with that. Looking back now to your younger self, when you were in your, let's say, mid-20s, what would you say you would have spent less time on looking back? What did you waste a lot of time on that just didn't matter?
You know what? I worked really hard throughout my 20s. I worked really hard to earn my stripes in my father's business. And I don't regret any of it in a sense, because it gave me a work ethic, a drive, to also then be able to face the challenges of having my own business. So yeah, no regrets. I know that's
terrific.
But I think in life you can't have regrets. You just learn from things.
Well, great answer. Great answer. Okay, I'm going to flip that and say, what do you wish you would have spent more time doing earlier on in your career? Anything that you missed out on that you think I should have paid more attention to this, or you should have anything?
Well, I should have got a driving license.
Sounds like you were too busy.
I still don't have a driving license. It's really pathetic.
I don't think you need it, right?
Well, with the baby, a dog, it would be handy. And it's something that's I find it quite difficult to do now. Or to
Okay.
find time to do now.
Maybe that's next on your list then. Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Well, okay. So if someone is watching this and they're saying, wow, this is very inspiring. I don't know if I could do what she did, but you've inspired me to go after my passion. Do you have any piece of advice that was given to you? Any best piece of advice that you've hung on to from anyone that you would like to pass on to someone else?
Well, I just think, probably two things. One, the business world is tough. It's tough, and it's you have to work really hard at it and be willing to graft and really just dedicate a lot of time to it. It's not something that's just going to be handed to you on a plate. I think that's and then probably the second thing is get as much advice as possible, meet as many people in the industry you're in or that are entrepreneurs to really get as much insight, as much information as you can to kind of develop the idea that you've got, and surround yourself with people that complement your own skill sets. None of us are good at everything, and so it's about bringing together the right group of people that really complement one another.
Yes. Do you have the ability to delegate? I sense you do with that last comment. Are you able to delegate comfortably?
I'm learning.
It's hard.
It's hard when it's your baby, but no, I have an amazing team of incredibly dedicated people who I love dearly and I'm very grateful for. And so I have learned to delegate, especially kind of over the 2 weeks of having the baby, to that allow me to let go a bit more and hand over a lot more to the team. And I have people I really trust. And I think that's really important.
Very, very important. Let me talk to you a little bit about skincare. So there's skincare, and then when we all reach a certain age, which you have quite a ways to go, but I'm already there. You've got a more mature skincare set. Do you have specific lines and specific products or ingredients that you found that really do make a difference?
Yeah, so we have our Forte Rigenerante range, which is our strongly regenerating range, which is our green packaged. They're our green packaged boxes, and those are our more anti-aging or age-defying products, I like to say, where we've got a trademark ingredient called myoxinol, which comes from hibiscus seed peptides across the hibiscus serum, hibiscus night cream, and prickly pear face cream. And that ingredient is proven to work on wrinkles. So in fact, hibiscus has been dubbed nature's Botox for good reason. So those three products are clinically proven also to visibly reduce wrinkles, and especially deep forehead lines, which are the hardest wrinkles to lose. And then we have a real mix across that range of different vitamins. So things like vitamin E, Pro B5, so panthenol, B3, niacinamide, as well as different molecular weight bands of hyaluronic acid, and different bio-based peptides, so plant-based peptides such as green pea polypeptides, so the peptides from green peas that are proven to give elasticity and firmness to the skin. And then those kind of ingredients combine with the ingredients from the farm and a mix of other Italian source ingredients, really.
Well, very nice. Well, I think everybody would be very interested to know about all of these ingredients. So you've got a regimen for all different skin types then. Is there anything that you would suggest for anyone to really try out, that there's some ingredients, and it could be the ones that you just named, that aren't normally found in other things, that say, look, if you want to try one of my products, start with this, because this is really going to separate us from everyone else. You've got to try this.
Our top selling product is the hibiscus night cream. And whilst it's our richest cream, it can be used day and night. And I wanted to understand why it made up 20% of our global sales. And so we did a consumer trial on this product, a blind consumer trial on over 80 volunteers. And the results were incredible. So we had anti-aging results in just 10 days. So 77% said their skin was more youthful, 100% said it was more hydrated, 95% already had healthier skin. And at the end of the 4 weeks, 96% of the trialists would recommend the product to friends, which was really high for a product known as a luxury product. For all you know, it could be a $1 product that is going to be sold, I don't know where. But so that kind of showed us why it performs so well. So I always say if someone wants to try one cream or one product in the range, to go for the hibiscus night cream. It has that myoxinol ingredient that I've mentioned. It has hyaluronic acid. It has green pea polypeptides to help give elasticity to the skin. It also has ceramides, which are great to protect the skin. So a lot of amazing ingredients that really make the product work, and it feels and smells amazing.
I love that. I love that. Well, this has been a very fascinating conversation, and we could get really deep and go down to every single product that you have. But the best thing I can tell everyone is go to Nordstrom, go to Neiman Marcus, go to Bergdorf's, wherever you can find it, go and give it a try. And I did, and I'm very, very happy that I discovered your products, and I'm sharing them with all my friends. And I think that they're going to throw out everything else they have in their drawer.
Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we'll tune in with you next year, and we'll see what you're up to and how much your product line has expanded.
Yeah, that would be great.
Lovely talking to you, and congratulations on the new baby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Today, I want to introduce you to Irene Forte Skincare, where nature meets science and sustainability reign supreme. Let me share with you the beauty of this extraordinary brand. Irene Forte Skincare is a testament to the power of organic ingredients sourced from organic Sicilian farms and their commitment to sustainability. It's all reflected in every product they create. But what truly sets Irene Forte Skincare apart is how it makes my skin look and feel. Nourished and revitalized, my skin glows with radiance and feels hydrated, smooth, and absolutely beautiful. Discover the transformative power of Irene Forte Skincare today. Use code HEATHER20 for an exclusive 20% discount, valid from August 31st till September 7th, 2023. Embrace sustainable beauty and unlock your skin's true potential. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Mentors and Moguls podcast. We hope you've been inspired by the incredible stories and wisdom shared by our esteemed guest. If you've enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review, and share it with others that may benefit from the valuable insights shared here. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making your mark in the world.